The Detroit Lions have had a busy free agency period and have filled out a ton of needs on the team already, which theoretically leaves them open as it relates to their next move coming up in April. So now that Detroit's needs have been filled in free agency for the most part, what should the Lions do and how does their need board look at this point in time? Fortunately, it's a pretty easy question to answer, and arguably, though some heavy lifting has been done, the needs are no different for the Lions on the surface even after their spending spree has come and gone. Here's a look at re-racking some of the needs the Lions have for the rest of this offseason, and how this might play into what they choose to do during the upcoming NFL Draft. 1. Defensive end. The Lions signed Trey Flowers for their defensive front, and some would think that this would mean they are done. False. The Lions could still benefit from a bookend to go with Flowers, and could be expected to look for one fairly early on, maybe even with their No. 8 selection. Detroit lost Ezekiel Ansah, and while Flowers is a nice piece and names like Romeo Okwara and Devin Kennard could be expected to chip in on the edge, the Lions need a big presence there for the future. The bet is it's still a big enough need where the team could make an early pick at the spot. 2. Tight end. The Lions may have signed Jesse James and Logan Thomas, which are two solid ways to start off free agency for the team. Still, though, there is the need for a young player to come in and complement this group. It might not be deep enough to take someone with the No. 8 pick, but certainly starting in round 2 if the Lions don't decide to use a selection on a tight end early, they could look to the spot there. The good news? This is a deep draft at the spot, and the Lions could be expected to pounce in the future as it relates to getting another tight end for their new look offense. The Detroit Lions are pushing to the draft. Stay up to date with everything. Take 5 seconds to sign up for our free Lions newsletter now. 3. Quarterback. So far, it's been the one move the Lions haven't made this offseason, not counting their signing of Connor Cook of course. But still, the point stands that the Lions could use another quarterback to go behind Matthew Stafford to learn the system and develop. Detroit has been scouring the college circuit looking at plenty of players so far, and that only stands to reason that the spot could be on the menu early this April. The Lions need another quarterback and their depth chart needs one more name in the mix. 4. Wide receiver. The Lions did add some nice names in Danny Amendola and Tommy Lee Lewis, both of whom could be expected to contribute. In spite of that, there's a big need for the team to have another young wideout come into the mid, perhaps in the slot or speed mold for the team. The Lions can still be expected to look at wideout even though they have a couple of nice players coming in, and it's still a need for the future, likely fairly early. 2. 5. Cornerback. The Lions added Justin Coleman on a big contract and have also added Rashaan Melvin for some extra depth. It's worth not forgetting they have names like Teez Tabor and Jamal Agnew at the spot too, adding for some extra depth in 2019. That gives them a bit of a chance to go BPA at the spot, but make no mistake, there is still a big need for a young corner on this team. It's still a major spot the Lions could be expected to upgrade when all is said and done with some type of selection. Bonus, safety and offensive line. The Lions lost Glover Quinn and TJ Lang, and while they theoretically have guys at either spot who can step up and step in, they're still going to need some extra support at either spot. That means the team could look to a depth move perhaps in the later rounds to fill these holes. The Lions could surprise and go after both early, too, as each still remain a sneaky need ahead of 2019.